What's going on, Skate Hacks family? We got another video today. We're going over 50/50s, not just any 50/50, but 50/50s on round rails. This was a request, and I thought it would make for a good video topic as well. So I'm going to discuss not necessarily how to 50/50 grind, but talking about 50/50s specifically on circle rails. So I remember growing up, I didn't want a 50/50 on any rail because it can be quite intimidating to 50/50 on such a thin object where you can fall on either side, and that's often what happened. But over time, you do kind of realize that 50/50s on regular, square rails are a little bit easier than the round rails. They may seem less intimidating as well because you have a flat surface. Even though it's not as comfortable as maybe 50/50ing a curb or a box, you still have that flat top surface, so you don't really have to worry too much about slipping from side to side too much. But with the circle rail, of course, things are a little bit more uneasy. Of course, you have the round surface, so it's easier to slip on either side. There's different schools of thought when it comes to locking into 50/50 grinds on rails. There's the method of leaning on one side of your truck for both trucks, and I definitely don't recommend that. It can be done, and it has been done, but I think it leaves you more prone to slipping out on either side, and it seems a little harder to distribute your weight. So what I wanted to talk about is the half and half lock-in on opposite trucks. So you'll see that on the front truck, it is locked in on one side, and on the back truck, it's locked in on the opposite side. So this creates like a balance, and as you can see here, my board is standing on the rail without me standing on it. It's balancing perfectly because the weight's distributing equally on both sides. And so this is what makes this more ideal on circle rails. It can be difficult to get a nice balance on the rail and just really hold it once you lock in. And that was my problem for many years. And applying this lock-in technique where you have the opposite side of the truck locking in on both the front and the back, it really creates a nice balance. And you can see obviously that the board this is pretty much the only position that the board will stand on a circle rail. You can test this out on any circle rail. You can balance it, put the opposite sides of the truck locking in, and it will stay on the rail. So if you apply weight onto this, you'll see that it's a lot easier to balance. The weight is distributed a lot easier, and you won't have to worry so much about slipping out. So how do I do this? You don't have to lock in exactly like this the moment that your trucks hit the rail. You just have to sort of shimmy your trucks in that position once you get on the rail. This is definitely something that I do once I get both trucks on the rail. If they don't land the way I want them to, I'll just shimmy it in that direction. I'll put the weight on each respective part to get it like that. And it's not really a difficult thing to do. So if you have a long circle rail that you want to try this on, so it doesn't really matter which truck is leaning on the toe side and which one's leaning on the heel side, as long as you're doing opposites for each side so that it balances out like that. And this makes it, like I said, a lot easier to sit on the 50/50 grind without having to worry about flipping over or keeping balance. It's really a good way to just keep a long 50/50 grind, to hold a long 50/50. So you can also do this on square rails, and I think it could help too with square rails, but again, square rails have that flat surface on top, so it doesn't seem as intimidating. So that is my tip for getting into 50/50s on circle rails. Definitely applying the opposite axle technique. You can watch lots of videos and you'll see people who do lots of kinked rails or long 50/50 grinds, and a lot of handrails out there are circle rails, so you'll definitely see this technique. A lot of people use this pinch technique, so it really does work. It's a good technique to use on any circle rail, and hopefully it can help you hold on to a 50/50 more, just stand on it more, feel more comfortable with 50/50 grinds, any 50/50, whether it's front side or back side. So those are my tips when it comes to 50/50 grinds on round rails. Comment down below your future suggestions for skate hacks videos. Quick announcement, I just reached 1,000 subscribers, so I really want to thank you guys. I really appreciate the support in the YouTube skateboarding community. Thank you so much. I have a proposal for you guys, and I want you to comment down below what you think about this. Now, I know that my content is free. The vast majority of my content will always be free, but I'm interested in creating videos that are more in depth about not just certain tricks in skateboarding, but concepts in skateboarding and several things that I know I could go way more in depth into. So if you guys would be interested in that type of content, or you're interested in requesting that for a small fee and supporting the Skate Hacks community, I would occasionally make these more in-depth videos, and I would charge a very small price, which would be $1 or less. And once purchasing the video, you'll have access to it forever. I'm just interested in creating this content for you guys, and I'm wondering if you'd be interested in supporting the Skate Hacks channel in return for more in-depth content. So let me know what you think about this below. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.